want to explain why I said either black or either white. Because, truthfully, the only two colors that really exist are black or white. Okay? That's all. So, what is white? White is any person without melanin who cannot get a tan naturally. Okay? That's what a real white person is. Okay? So they can't get a tan naturally. There's a lot of people out here who y'all think are white, but if they can get a tan naturally, or if they're naturally already tanned, they're not white. They're black. They might not know it, but our solar system, our Earth, our sun and our moon, our stars know it. Now, what is black? Black is any melanated person who can get a tan naturally without occurring extensive harm. Okay? So that goes for all the shades. Light-skinned people who are black, light brown-skinned people who are black. Okay? Now, black people, the most melanated people, not the mixed people, but the most melanated or the most closest to being all black, they are the ones who can take in the most sun, possibly even have a tan, but you just don't know it. Okay? And I'm not going to play the semantic games with y'all. Okay? I'm not even going to play them games because if you want to be truthful with yourselves, why do y'all think that even some animals only see in black or in white? If you don't look white to them, you look black to them. If you don't look black to them, you look white to them. I digress. So, I could have said a little more about that, but I want to jump into this thing about the antenna, right? And the reason why I say the hair on your whole body is the antenna, not just the hair on your head. And that is for mixed people, and that is for white people. And when I say mixed people, I mean mixed people who are of a lighter complexion. Because the mixed people who are of a higher complexion, they get their understanding from the sun through their complexion. But because their complexion is of a lighter complexion, they also get their understanding from the moon to make up from what they can't tolerate from the sun through their hair. Hair on their head? No. Hair over their whole body, not just hair on their head. Y'all are thinking too small. And so let me explain this to y'all now. So in Dragon Ball Z, there are characters who are called the Saiyans. And the Saiyans are mostly extinct, but it's a few of them left. So the Saiyans, whenever they look at the moon, they turn into giant monkeys, or giant apes, or giant gorillas. And gorillas, apes, monkeys, all of them are extremely hairy. Okay? So that's a little thing in the cartoon that a lot of people aren't getting. Why do they turn into giant gorillas when they look at the moon? Because the moon is attracted to hair. Okay? The moon is attracted to hair. Also, the Saiyans, they have a tail. They were born with tails. Now, when they look at the moon or whatever, they go off. They lose all control of themselves. Now, losing all control of themselves, what does that really mean? They just go off of instinct. Instinct and survival. Okay? But instinct is natural. Natural is nature. You get it? So they get their tail cut off to disconnect them from that part of nature. Because their nature is more connected to the moon through their hair and their tail. Because even when they're not looking at the moon, they normally walk around with a tail. Okay? That's their connection to the moon. That's their connection to nature. It's being cut off. They normally always get it cut off because they're uncontrollable. Uncontrollable just means go off of instinct. And uncontrollable also means you can't tell them this, you can't tell them that, you can't reason with them, which is normal and natural in nature. Okay? So I'm just going to recap this a little bit more. Not even recap. I'm going to try to move forward. If you're a person, if you're a color person of a lighter complexion, you should be trying to keep as much hair on your body as possible because you're not going to be able to get everything that you need from the sun for your understanding, for your awakened awareness, for your growth of your mind. Okay? Okay, so that's for people of color who are of a lighter complexion. Most normally, you will be considered a mixed person. For the people who are white, okay, you are going to get all of your understanding from the moon. And when I say all, remember, I don't mean all. But when I say all, I mean enough of it to be significant. Okay? Significance. The most significance is going to come from the moon. I'm just saying all to put emphasis on it. But truthfully, you'll get a very little bit from the sun. Just a very little bit. Not even enough worth talking about. So, when you shave your hair off of your head, or cut your beard off, or shave the hair on your body, you're really going to be disconnected from nature, disconnected from natural, disconnected from the moon. Okay? Now, for the person of color who is very melanated, the hair on your head is not no antenna. Okay? The hair on your head is pretty much worth nothing. Okay? The only thing the hair on your head is good for is to maybe keep you warm when the sun go down. That's it. Okay? Because the hair on your head is getting so very little bit of understanding from the moon. It has a very small connection because you're getting all you need from the sun already. That you don't even need a real connection with the moon. You only need that little itty titty tiny piece. Because like they say, it takes two to make the things go right. It takes two. So because it takes two, you'll be able to just get a little tiny bit from the moon, and you'll get most of yours from the sun. The person who was dark skinned. The person who was white skinned, you will get most of your understanding and what you need from the moon through your hair, the same way that the dark skinned person gets their connection to the sun through their complexion and their color. And when you take off all the hair off your body, you're really weakening your ability to stay connected to nature and to the moon. Because you have hair for that purpose. Okay? Everything that the sun gives out, that doesn't benefit you to almost nothing. The same way that whatever the moon gives out, it only benefits the dark-skinned person to almost nothing, just enough to keep them connected to the sun and the moon and the earth, just enough to keep them connected. Same way with you. You barely get anything from the sun. Not enough, not anything worth taking the risk of getting burnt and scorched up and getting all of that rays or whatever that's going to eat you up. It's not even worth it. So you don't have the skin complexion to tolerate the sun. You have the hair to be able to get from the moon. The mixed person, once again, they get their stuff from the moon through their hair. They get their stuff from the sun through their complexion. And the reason why they get it from both is because they can't get enough of what they need from either one. So once again, this is Master and Teach GF, checking in and checking out. Peace.